from your perspective, the fact that Google is saying there isn't sort of legal founding for this, do you agree?
Look, every legal case that's come, they found a way around it. And so it hasn't slowed them down yet. I don't think this is going to slow them down. It's hard to handicap the case, to be honest. But we've been living with regulatory headwinds in the internet for so long. It's really hard to handicap. I don't believe this is going to have any impact. Ultimately, at the end of the day, Google's providing a service that's helping us as consumers get places, find items. I do not right now have any belief that this will have any material impact on the business. There's been tons of legal scare tactics. So right now it's really hard to handicap. And I think this is why Google's trading at such a low multiple, as everyone's concerned at some point could something happen. There's been no precedence that has had any issue inside the core business that has slowed them down so far.
Yeah. I mean, Brent, Google said in a blog post that the lawsuit, quote, attempts to pick winners and losers in a highly competitive advertising technology sector. They say it largely duplicates an unfounded lawsuit by the Texas Attorney General, much of which was recently dismissed by a federal court. Is this, though, Brent, even if they manage to win, it's a cost headache, but it's also perhaps costing them in terms of innovation? Is it just a distraction? What do you worry about the opportunity cost here?
Yeah, it's a distraction. They're focused on innovation. Their innovation has not dropped. I mean, it's like every other term we hear some legal case, and again, this has been across internet and across a lot of tech names. It has not cost them any innovation yet, and ultimately, if they broke up pieces of the business, it'd be a concern. But so far, we just haven't seen it. So really, in our opinion, not much to say at this point, other than it's a distraction, and their job, and they have done this very well, has kept their eyes on the road and kept focused.
I'm looking at the share reaction during Tuesday's session. We're down 1.7% all told once the market had closed. This is a department, the DOJ, that looked at this under the Trump administration. It continues to look at it under the Biden administration. When you're an analyst covering this stock, how much is the risk of serious action with serious results modeled into your price target?
It's modeled in because you have a multiple that now is trading at a very big discount. So I don't think anyone that's investing in internet names is investing right now without the understanding that this is an issue. This is an issue for Amazon. It's an issue for Microsoft. It's an issue for Facebook and Meta. It goes across the board. So I don't really see an issue that is going to create, at this point, a big concern. And again, you've seen Google stock over the last decade continue to power higher. So we'll keep an eye on it. We're certainly cognizant of it, but so far I don't think there's enough for us to really hang our hat on anything at this point.
Brent, the other story dominating the headlines is layoffs. You know, we cannot get away from Alphabet and Google being another company that is pulling back. What surprised Caroline and I were some of the specific areas, even artificial intelligence, where competition with Microsoft is heating up. Again, what do you think that means for Alphabet's business, the action it's taken on headcount reduction?
They needed it. They hired, in the mid 20% growth rate. So we think this is pretty common. Microsoft, Amazon, everyone is taking action. The environment's slowing for tech. They all have to slow their headcount, and they all have to effectively go through and really re-examine who they've hired. And not everyone's going to work in any business, right? So at least 5% of this is just removing hires that don't work. The other 5% plus is trimming. We're not discounting there's going to be potentially more changes to headcount. I think that is still open, and I think we expect more cuts to happen across tech. So I think this is the first wave, but I think this is very common. And to be honest, I think Google should have acted faster. They're one of the last ones to jump in the cost cut pool. Salesforce, you go through the list, everyone's already done it.